I'm ready. Are we ready? Welcome. F1 America live from the paddock. Monaco pre-race show / catch-up show / giveaway show.
Giveaway.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the giveaway.
What's up? Welcome back to F1 America. Thank you all for joining us. Look, guys, we have some competition in the space. So some people are starting to come out with some other content, which is great. I think it's awesome that it's trending, right? It's trending, but we have a new goal. It's not monetary. We just want to be the most watched American F1 channel. So help us do that.
FYI, this is news to me. This goal just got dropped in my plate right now at minute or 55 seconds into this clip. So
done. We want to give away some swag today. So stay tuned so you can figure out how to win. And then
dog in the show. We got a dog in the show. Surprise guest appearance.
Yeah, guest appearance.
Bodie is here.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna talk about some upgrades. You getting in on this, dude? Oh, knocked over the light. Again. Bloopers. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna talk about upgrades people are bringing to Monaco. We're gonna talk about Monaco. Then we're also gonna talk about Imola being canceled, and as well as Imola. Guacamole.
Imola.
And we're going to talk about the contest. So that's what we're going over today. Quick show, nothing crazy. We'll dive right into it. Let's talk about Imola. Sorry, I'm not. Let's try.
Might be Imola.
Ebola. So we'll talk about that because that's obviously the first thing that's happened as of recent events. So everybody's seen, I'm sure you've seen on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you get your news and racing news, the flooding and crazy storm that Italy has gotten. I'll just say Italy because it's better, right? So yeah, crazy storm. Props to Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah, I was gonna say Yuki definitely hit it out of the park. And I honestly don't think it was a PR stunt at all. I think it was simply just because a lot of them were there anyway. You know, I saw a lot of the teams were like just holed up in hotels, not really able to go anywhere because the flooding's so bad.
What about De Vries was there driving? I think he's an NSX, right?
No, maybe.
Yeah, I think he has an NSX. So he was driving along the countryside and the road was blocked. So
I did see that.
Then you had to turn around and go to that random hotel. I think it was the McLaren team basically like took him in for the night or however long he needed to because they couldn't get anywhere. So that was cool to see the teams, even though, well, I mean, McLaren and AlphaTauri both suck right now anyway. So they're probably like, hey, we're gonna suck together. You could stay with us. You're not doing any better than us. But I wonder if it was like Max and Lewis, if they would be like, no. Max is like, come on, Lewis, you can come crash with my pad. And they're like, screw you, dude.
Sabotage.
Yeah. Mind games.
But
yeah, obviously bummed to see that race get canceled. Crazy turn of events. I didn't even know that was happening. I like woke up, I think it was like Thursday, and they're like, yeah, it's canceled. And I'm like, shit. So obviously bummed no racing, but obviously hope that there's great stuff. Easy, fast recovery. Hopefully they replace it or put it back on the schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen there.
Yeah, we just talked about this off air, right? Like, if they do, then potentially they're going to have 4 race weekends in a row because the schedule's so much more tight right now through the second part of the season.
Couldn't they do it just on the summer break? I don't know why this just came to my mind. Why not do it on the summer break? Like, just smack it like 2 weeks early in the summer break.
Yeah.
Unless there's other events going on there, but
who knows? I don't know. Hopefully it gets thrown back in. Don't know. As of right now, it doesn't look like it's gonna have too much of an effect on the overall championship. Either way, it kind of looks like Red Bull Max is running away with it. But you never know. It's still a long season. We're only, this is gonna be I guess this will be the 6th race. It was gonna be the 7th. So, still a lot of racing to go.
One thing I'll say, I'm not entirely mad that it got canceled. Obviously, I'm mad just because there's no racing. That's the sole reason why I'm bummed. But Imola is kind of Imola, whatever the hell you call it, is kind of a boring track to watch. It's like a total of like 6 turns.
Yeah, it's definitely more than that.
It's just like straight
it's
chicane,
more of a Red Bull
straight chicane,
Red Bull track anyway, right?
Straight
straights,
sweeping corner, and it's over. So yeah, the straight line speed. I think it did everybody a favor actually, it being canceled. So less damage to the rest of the teams that are chasing down the Red Bulls. So yeah, I mean, nothing really much else to say about it.
No, not a whole lot. So I guess we can move on. We'll see. We'll update you if they throw it back into the calendar. As of this point, we have no idea. They haven't really said. So lots of upgrades. I think that was the biggest thing that I was looking forward to as far as Imola goes, was just seeing the team's upgrades. I know Mercedes bringing a bunch of package with Aero. They're still bringing it this weekend. They have new side pods, which is thank fucking God, because it only took a year and a half for them to decide that.
Well, hey, the shit ain't working, dog.
Was shit.
I mean, it looks sick. I like the look of the no side pod. Don't get me
totally.
wrong.
Oh yeah, totally. So we'll see.
Work.
But now, you know, they have their old chief engineer back on the team. So now hopefully they can get back to winning like they did.
Steps into the design studios like, who designed this piece of shit?
Like, I'm away for like 3 months and this is what you came up with.
Do you think this gave teams more time to produce maybe an extra set of upgrades that they weren't planning on?
I don't know. I think that teams are strategizing upgrades. So I don't think it's that they can't produce them fast enough or they don't have the money. I think it's all about strategizing when to bring them for which tracks, like what's going to help. So I don't know necessarily. I will say that, okay, great. Mercedes has these side pods. Are we really going to be able to get a chance to see what they can do in Monaco? You know, and Monaco's such a one-off track. And it's like, well, if you don't start first, you're probably not going to pass anyone.
In our group chat, I was talking about that too. I'm like, great, you brought side pods to Monaco, which is really pointless because you don't even, would you hit 150 miles an hour? Maybe.
Yeah.
On that one straightaway coming out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Everything else is slow. I mean, unless he's going to help with turning and stuff, but
it could. I mean, it's just going to be different aerodynamics, so maybe it's going to handle better overall, but I don't think it's going to be a good indicator as to how much the upgrades are improving the car or not. You know, maybe they can find some space in practice and see, or, you know, maybe they can tell based off of just feel and handling. I guess we'll find out. I'm just excited that they're bringing fucking upgrades and trying to change something because it's not working.
Actually, side note, we could touch on this really quick. It wasn't in the agenda today, but
let's do it.
Lewis Hamilton could get offered 40 mil from Ferrari.
Yeah, he's not.
Hearsay.
It's a lot of hearsay. I think the media was really bored with no race, and so they had to drum up a lot of different drama. Because I even saw a post that Fred Vasseur made, right, the team principal at Ferrari. It said, look, like, I think any team would be really stupid if they didn't want Lewis on their team. You know, he's obviously amazing. We'd be lying if we said that we wouldn't, but we have not talked to him. We don't, you know, like, there's no reason for all that.
Sure, the idea got thrown out there, and Ferrari's like, yeah, if the opportunity's there, yeah, we'll offer him a shitload of money, but there's not been any like, hey, you're
and he said that they never reached out and talked to him, like, so.
I mean,
it's the silly season starting already.
Yeah, the one thing I will say too, though, is that, and I have a couple other friends that will back me on this, irrelevant friends that we're just a bunch of washed up racers that don't know what we're talking about, but I personally think that Lewis isn't worth 40 million right now. Maybe coming off the season with Max, if Ferrari was picking him up then, for sure. But when they went at it, 40 mil for sure, you're competitive, stick, offer it to him. He hasn't done shit in 2 years, which I get it. It's somewhat the car, but at the same time, in my defense, George Russell is driving the car just as good, if not better, most of the time. Lewis is ahead in points. I understand that. But I don't think Lewis right now is worth 40 million. I mean, I get it. He's got 7 titles, but okay, say you throw him in a Ferrari. Is he going to be, what if, same thing that happened to Daniel Ricciardo, right? Daniel Ricciardo leaves. He knows how to drive a Red Bull. He goes to Renault. He figured it out eventually, goes to McLaren, can't really figure it out. What if that's what happens to Lewis? I know Lewis is, I would say, definitely more talented than Daniel based on all of his experience, and his titles obviously back that. But hypothetically speaking, because that's all we can do at this point, he jumps to another team. He's not used to how the car drives, takes him forever to figure it out. Then he's not any better than he was. And then the team's like, shit, we just paid this guy 40 million just to sit on his ass and do the same shit he was doing in that other car. Or, you know, I would assume he would be better, at least.
Yeah, and I think Lewis does put a lot into helping the team. I mean, even Valtteri had spoke about how Lewis is the first one to show up at the track. He's the last one to leave. You know, so like, as much as he doesn't want to admit that Lewis is just better talented too.
Right. He's putting in the
He
work, too.
also works really hard, which I thought was kind of cool because everybody thinks that he doesn't. Like that, I feel like that's what I get told all the time. Oh, like, you know,
I'd love to see the footage, the security footage of him coming in.
See what I deal with.
Yeah. He's showing up at 10 after brunch and leaving at 3 as soon as quality's over. He's like, I'm out. Debrief. All right, cool. I gotta go hang out with Shakira on the Mastercraft.
Dude, by the way, Shakira now is possibly dating a basketball player. So
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, was that what it was?
There's a theory out there that could be Michael Jordan's kid. Very far-fetched. Yeah, now we're getting down the rabbit hole. But yeah, no, I'm just genuinely curious to see. I would love to see him jump to another team. Because also that's his tendency, right? That he's gonna now Mercedes is in the shitter. He's eventually gonna join.
Oh my god, another what is this?
What's up, Bella? Yeah, he normally jumps ship.
Close the door.
Jump ship once the car starts falling apart. And you can only make a run so long and be so good for so long, I think.
Yeah.
What then that was obviously with McLaren. Nice. They were dominant for a long time. Williams, they were dominant back in the day. Yeah. Red Bull was not I don't think Red Bull's ever been dominant. I think now Red Bull's coming into their era. Like this is their era where they
4 championships in a row.
Was set, right?
Yeah. So I think they did, and then that era was just, I guess it was just a little bit shorter lived, but they're coming back into it, right?
Right.
And I don't think they ever really dropped off bad, right? They were always still kind of in the hunt for around, second, third place. Mm-hmm. Mercedes, I think, just was so far ahead of everyone for years and years. I guess, I
mean, no cost cap will do wonders.
Yeah, but Red Bull has the money to not worry about cost cap too, right? Same with Ferrari, same with McLaren.
Who do you think has more money though? I would say Mercedes selling cars probably has more money than Red Bull, which I know Red Bull's a media company, not a energy drink company.
Yeah, but I think when you get to a certain level, like
I'm genuinely curious. I'm not like trying to like cause.
Oh yeah, no, they probably do,
right?
Potentially. I mean, Daimler is their like parent company, and they own a bunch of shit.
Right.
They obviously make a lot of money, but it's like, well, I don't think the teams necessarily outspend each other at that level. It's more like the teams like Haas and Williams who don't have the funding, like they're the ones that lose out. I think the top teams are like, oh, you're throwing 250 mil, great, I'll throw 300 mil, great, I'll throw and I think they can just continue to go and go and go.
I think Ferrari and Mercedes for sure, they're both selling cars, baller cars, and like they have the funding coming in consistently. I'm like, okay, you look at a $4 energy drink, and it's like you got to sell a lot of $4 energy drinks versus like 5 cars, and your budget's there.
I guess we'll do a video on what companies pull in the most money for funding their F1 team. I mean, Red Bull's been they're huge since the 80s.
Yeah.
So that's a massive company. That guy's wicked rich.
I heard that guy died because he drank too many Red Bulls. I'm probably next to him because I drink a lot of them. Shameless plug. Well, actually, no, never mind.
Shameless plug?
No, we're not sponsored by Red Bull. We're sponsored by somebody else.
Are we?
Well, I'm working on it. We're in contract negotiations. Well, the contract's signed, but I can't really. Yeah. Anyways.
But the channel is not.
The channel's not. No, the channel's not signed.
You personally.
Yeah.
Okay, Monaco race predictions. Obviously, fucking Red Bull. Whoever can get out on top. So is it going to be Sergio that messes up Max's?
Playing devil's advocate. Ferrari last year out qualified.
Yeah.
Which obviously we saw the shitstorm that caused too, because Checo wrecked and then ruined Max's lap, and then it turned into an all like brimstone and fire coming from the guys.
The year before, Charles qualifies first, then has a crash. They choose not to put in a new transmission, and then it fails on the on the warm-up lap going to, and they never get to.
That blows my mind. The race. How did it fail on the warm-up lap? That's like what is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was either that or they didn't even get it out of the garage. It was something like that.
Like if they fired it and it broke, so they turned it over.
Yeah, and I think the reason they didn't change, the gearbox is because they didn't want to have to start in the fucking back.
Oh, at that point, you might as well just run the risk if it's going to work, because you passing there is going to be so difficult.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll see. Ferrari's strategy has been better this year. The drivers just haven't stepped up quite as much. So I'd love to see Leclerc win, his home race. He's the only Monaco driver. A lot of them live there, but he's the only,
He's actually from Monaco. Got it. That's why he's so fast there. He knows the corner. He probably walks.
But he has the worst luck, right? And we talked about this with Sargent in Miami. Like, just seems to be like bad luck. So
home race bad luck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, it's not really fair to everybody else because Max has like 4 home races essentially because he's got like Netherlands, then he's got the Red Bull Ring, and then he's got wherever else. So yeah. But, I mean, I think Monaco, like it is every year, is going to be a boring race. I'm going to wake up to watch it, and then I'm going to be disappointed because everybody's going to sit there unless there's a crazy wreck, and then the crazy wreck, everybody just gets back in single file. Right.
So I don't know if this is if it's still looking like this, but early on this week, I heard something about possibly being rain for Monaco, which could at least throw some strategy, different stuff going on. So it could make it more interesting.
Oh, that's what we could talk about really quick. Just because a track like Monaco, maybe they just need to scale back the cars for Monaco, like make like shrink the car down, make it everything exactly the same, but shrink it down. Almost like I don't want to say go-karts, but you know what I mean? To make it more competitive because the track is stupid because the cars are so damn big. You can't even park an F1 car in my driveway. That's how big they are.
They should just all ride bicycles around Monaco.
No,
and I talked about this a little bit on the track stat video too, it's so hard because Monaco is like the most prestigious, most iconic race in Formula One. There's been 79 races and it started in 1929, so it's like the heritage that is there is so cool, but the logistics, the cars are so much greater size now that passing is damn near impossible. So it makes, as far as like racing, makes it a little bit more boring. It's just cool and iconic, so it's like I struggle with, do I want it on the calendar? Do I not want it on the calendar?
Might as well just play time attack. But then that's what it comes down to. It's like time travel. You're, as long as you throw down a heater and you're P1 or P2, if your car breaks, that's the only reason why you're not winning, or you have an absolute shit strategy, which already did that one.
Can happen.
Yeah, it's possible. So I mean, I think won't be anything crazy. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the race is crazy and there's crazy passing and people sending in, people trying to kill each other because they're just dive bombing each other, I'm like, that'd be sick. But yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
I think one of the reasons I do like it too is that it's so technical, especially if you've ever played the F1 game. It's by far, in my opinion, the hardest track to try and put in a good time, especially compared to like the computers. Like it's so technical, it's so tight, and you have to get really close to the wall. And I love that. Especially, I think that's why qualifying is so cool to watch.
Who's that?
We get to see them perform at the highest.
There's that iconic slow-mo video of the Mercedes making that corner, and they just barely clip. It doesn't even hit that hard, and just basically shatters the arm or tie rod or whatever it is, and loses steering. But then you see the video of the Red Bull. I think it's Max, and he comes and he's like mills off the wall, and it's just crazy to see. But then at the same time, to Max's credit, I heard somewhere he's like the number 3 ranked like sim driver in the world. So it's like not only is he fast as balls in an F1 car, but he's putting in the work on the sim, and he wins sim events all the time. So I mean, that probably to his credit. I know they all drive on the sim, but like he's like eat, sleep, breathing F1 all the time.
Yeah,
and that's why
I think he's so good. It's him and Lando that actually race in the esports series, right?
Yeah.
And I think Albon does too, or he did.
I think he does, and he might do it all the time too. But I know obviously some of those guys do some events together, and maybe not everybody does it as much as say Max and Lando. But I know Max and Lando spend a lot of time because I think they view it as another opportunity to market themselves, and
totally, and they're good. They probably make money doing it too.
Yeah, I mean, Lando is kick ass too at it. And you see videos all the time of him playing with people and like talking shit to people, and then I think they all get on occasionally together and they'll play some sim racing games, because I've watched a video and there you can hear everybody like Charles and Lando in a chat together with Albon and Max all talking
and George too.
Yeah, George.
Yeah.
So
should we talk about this contest?
Yeah.
5-minute video turned into 20 as it always does.
Oh, we were saying 30 minutes.
That's true. It will be by the time we get there.
Right. Sure, we'll ramble on about some of that.
Always do. So yeah, contest, we got shirt giveaway. I mean, honestly, we'll give away one of every size depending on who's actually following through, right? So we want to grow our social medias too, because obviously we know That's the best way of growing views on this channel. Best way of reaching audience. So, you know, any ideas, we're always open. If you guys have content that you want us to cover, I'll make videos on it. So just let us know. We're accessible, we're available. So go make sure you follow our video or our channel on IG. It's official F1 America. We'll send links to that. Like this post because we're going to post it on Instagram. Tag 2 of your friends and then follow the link in our bio over to our YouTube channel and subscribe there as well. And then you know, just comment maybe like done or send us a DM and we'll be watching, but let us know that hey, you made it. And the first, I guess 5 people, what do we have? Small, medium, large, extra large, first 4 people to do that, we will send a shirt your way. So
if you repost it, I'll double down on this. Anybody who's willing to repost it on their story, like this clip or this post or whatever we do with it, if you repost it on your story, I will automatically just mail you a shirt. Just tell me your size. I will automatically mail you. I have plenty of shirts. Once we run out of sizes, then obviously you're SOL'd. I'm sorry. And we will re-up on shirts as long as obviously there's the traction there to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. It's been fun. Been having a blast doing it. We're trying to be more consistent about posting and stuff. Just obviously with the off weekends, makes it sometimes a little difficult to come up with some different stuff. We're brainstorming some different videos for y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a new series called F1 Rewind. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm working on trying to make these videos just more entertaining to watch too. Not just 2 guys, you know, chatting in a room.
that was a great save.
Like that?
Like
yeah,
that was going to be really bad.
It was about to be bad.
That was a take for sure.
F1 Rewind, basically just kind of looking back through the years of like, all right, F1 started, you know, what was the evolution of the cars, the evolution of kind of driving styles, evolution of the rules, evolution of tires, anything else that you guys have that you're like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea, send it our way, right? So we want to bring content that you want to watch, so let us know. Boom. Thanks, all.
Yeah. Thanks. Like, comment, subscribe.
See you next time.
Later.